Hey, it's Dani, you and me living free. Today we are talking about the best beach in Baja, if you ask me. And this was my first trip down, but I'm talking to a lot of people who've been here, have a lot more experience with it than I do. These couple of maps are to give you kind of an idea of what kind of location we're talking about. This is the drive out. I was telling you, if you've been watching my Baja videos, that as we get further south, the views and the drive gets more and more beautiful. Look at this. This is a bay. As we're driving up to Requeson, it's very close to Requeson. And there are the series of several bays as you drive along the coast. And at each bay is a different campground. This one is called Sanispec. And a lot of people will come here and literally stay for a month or 2 months or something like that. And a lot of big rigs like Sanispec, there's the sign. Loreto is another town that is but an hour or so south. But there's Sanispec in that campground. And this is just this is the kind of stuff you're driving by once you get to this point in Baja. Once you get to this point on the highway where it's just one beautiful bay after another. You're sheltered from some of the currents and the deep water and everything of the Gulf, and you can wade out, you can swim, you can paddleboard, you can kayak. Within the bay, the water is a lot calmer. Now, there are windy days and there are calm days, and a lot of times the mornings are calm and the afternoon it picks up and gets windy. Here's just a picture of Sharon. I was teasing her because she's got her umbrella out over her phone so that she could read and paddle at the same time, which is just hilarious. And I wanted to show one picture of myself where I wasn't smiling. I don't know why. I always seem to be smiling. This is the paddle right away from just out of our campsite, 200 yards paddle from our beach. This is what it looks like. This is me at dawn in the paddleboard. This is a fruit plate from one of the vendors. We just got a big fruit plate every afternoon. This is the sausage man. He's coming. Gary and Terry are married. They're a couple that runs this the sausage man van, and it comes up and down the coast delivering meat and sausage and ribeyes and pork and chicken and butter and all kinds of things, pepper jelly, and just a huge variety of stuff to us down here. One of the people that we were camping with, Tim, knows Gary, and so we were kind of treated extra special, I think. And so this was one afternoon. We were just all sitting around. Gary came with some sausages and things. There's Gary, Tim, and Mark. Some of the guys that we're camping with are Tim and Mark and Sharon. There's all three of them. And, just sitting around in the afternoon talking and mostly chasing shade. Here's Tim and Mark playing Farkle. That's another activity on the beach. There's Sharon. She always wants to be in the sun, soaking it up. There's Miguel. He sells these amazing hand woven rugs, and he sells mezcal and things and comes on the beach. He's one of the vendors, but another friend of Tim's, so he would come by, eat every day or two. Okay, so this is the beach at Playa el Requeson, and these are the palapas, and there are a series of them. The thing about El Requeson is that there's many things about it, but it's two beaches in one. You have two bays instead of one, and they're backed up to each other. There's all of us. We're all opened up to the water. Every single person here is camped right on the beach, right on the edge of the water. And there are people in campers, there are people in vans, there's people in cars, in the tents that go, rooftop tents, in cars, and then in tents that they just have on the ground, just regular tents and things. School buses. There are people from the United States, certainly. There are also locals on the weekends mostly. There are a lot of Canadians. There are so many Canadians down here in Baja. and then a lot of people from South America and Europe. There are people from all over. It's very international down in Baja, and this is just giving you the idea of what it's like just to walk out, because this is somebody's campsite. It's open right now. It's right next to ours. There's Tim's boat right out there, his little paddle that he was nice enough to let me use. And he let several people use it, not just me. But yeah, so we're all just camped right on the beach. The tide is low right now, so the tide will come up and get a lot closer to some of the vehicles. These are the ladies and one guy who set up and brought us the fruit each day, and they had sodas and chips and things like that. Here's the back of our camp setup. So there's like Mark's van and Sharon's van and Tim's van, and my van is kind of pulled up to the front a little bit. And there's everybody's boats. There's the sunshade and everything. So we kind of have our own little world here. Here's Tim and I. He's kind of giving me directions on how to get into his boat and how to paddle it and everything. And I really enjoyed using this several times during my stay at Requeson, which ended up being quite a while. Here's me paddling out, and you can see how calm the water is. The water's extremely calm, so it just makes a nice, easy paddle. But you also need to be careful. There's a couple things to be careful of at Requeson, and number one is that stingrays actually come here and nest and have their young every spring. So there are stingrays, so you have to shuffle your feet when you're walking out. And another favorite pastime besides the watching the sunset, and I'm going to show you a sunset later, I'm going to show you the bathrooms here, is watching the pelicans dive for food. And you can sit there and watch them forever and they won't do anything, and then all of a sudden you can get a couple of clips of them. I've got some more clips of the pelicans later on in this video. Here are the bathrooms. This is another thing that makes El Requeson special, is honestly there are flush toilets at Requeson. You have to bring your own toilet paper, but there are flush toilets. And I'm just telling you, this is rare. And they're cleaned every morning and every night. So compared to like our state campgrounds and things, this is much cleaner. I'm telling you now. This is much cleaner. You would be very impressed. And another thing about El Requeson is that the sun sets out. No, that's not true. The sun sets behind us, but the sun rises every morning over the bay. And this is me on a paddle at sunrise. And this is what I'm seeing over the water. And it's so incredible. I don't even really have words for it. But this is so gorgeous and so soothing to my soul. But we would get up sometimes when it was still dark. And because if you have studied sunrises, then you know, the light changes every moment. Every moment that light is changing. And so it'll start with just a tiny bit of light around the horizon, like a white light or something. And you'll notice that there's a difference, and the stars start disappearing because there is more light on the horizon, right? And then you get all these vibrant colors. Like this is kind of what this video right here is, the vibrancy across the entire sky. Then it gets kind of lighter across the sky, and then it focuses in on just exactly where the sun is going to be, right? And so sunrises and everything change. That's one of our favorite pastimes on the beach, is honestly just to sit and watch it. To paddle out there and watch the sun come up is like nothing else. And one morning when we were there were dolphins. Oh, I should have put that video clip in here. If I can find it, I'll put it in, but I made a short about it and I posted it on my shorts. But yeah, so this is just me watching the pelicans. Oh, here they go. I was gonna say the last clip, they didn't do anything. The other thing is, there they go. they're so cute. I don't know. We just love watching them. But it's like, what do you do all day? Well, we sit around and we talk. We watch the pelicans. We paddle out for sunrise. We play games. We talk to friends. We make new friends. We see who's on the beach, and we talk to our neighbors and hear the stories about their lives and things. And it's really a special place. Okay, this video went really fast. I'm going to make another video on Requeson because I was here for weeks, and put in some more stuff. I'll show you how I take a bath and a shower and all kinds of stuff. We'll do that one next. So thanks for being here.